Just practicing my banjo. Practicing my banjo. Not really. It's a ukulele. It's not the biggest guitars. I saw one. It was in Manhattan, and I went to the store and it had all these. I think it was like a Russian guitar or like from like old world. I actually seen. I knew this guy. Like he was talking about it. It was just so odd. It was like it was crazy. I went in the back. It was a silver one. A minor reflection I had on it. I just went through it like that, and it was just like so mellow. Obviously, it was tuned up pretty well, but it was just like so gorgeous, like $800. I was like, man, let's say I want to sell my car, well, that's a damn good reason to sell it, because I already had this one, and I don't know how to play. I just started today. I tuned it up, and I'm messing around with it, but I play with it in my car, kind of. I put my fingers on it and I remember I made a melody. Just I don't know if someone interrupted me, just kind of weird and sad, It kind of like, a lot of times I was just like restrained or, suppressed. I wasn't just wasn't feeling good about it. I just said, well, all right, that's fun, but, I got stuff to do or something like that. But anyway, some time ago, and I saw that silver guitar in that place, It was in a certain place. It was a park. I don't know if it was Jefferson Park, but I went there a couple times. I had a conversation with a guy that had a motorcycle. He had a really nice motorcycle, but it's about, just opening up and being yourself, because people will love to suppress you and mentally suppress you, whether they ridicule you for things that aren't even true. If you're ridiculing me for something that's true and you're trying to make a joke, pass a joke, like it's, hey, just, like a nudge, I get it. But when people just try to suppress just to put you down, so your self-esteem goes down, at a certain time you'll say it back, but it sticks back with you, especially when, I don't know, let's say you're like a freshman in high school, maybe you have a goofy haircut, maybe you just, don't know anybody, maybe people that went to grammar school, they don't accept you, you don't talk to them because things happen, you are how you are, and they're not. They hate you for it, or they want to do the same thing to you, and just suppress you, And the kids that sits all the way in the back, you sit in the front in Spanish class, all the way to the left. He sits all the way in the back of the class, and you think he's either high or drunk, and who knows? Maybe he's doing coke, maybe he's doing speed. Who knows what he's doing? But it's the same old wannabe class clown, throwing spitballs, and even though it's freshman year, it's like, Jesus, dude, like, stop fucking doing that shit. You're a cunt. Yeah, I mean, you don't say it, you're just like, you're a joke. You're a fucking joke. And, you want to get to him, just, grab him and just, put your hands off the other person's desk, because in Catholic school, we had these desks, and on the bottom, they had, like, a holding place or something, and he would always put his hands, you just want to, like, rough him up a little. You just want to set him in this place, And you remember the same clown, like when, when something happened, he just, he laughed at you, and, at the beginning you thought he was like one of the coolest people, but then you realize he just follows around what everybody else does, and, he doesn't really have a personality. He's like the weirdest kid in school, probably in New Jersey, And, and now you get a benefit of the doubt, but, you sit in this class and just someone just mentally suppress you, whether one person, two person, three person, or a couple people at the same time, And, it's to a certain point, just like, you wake up, you're like, or you find something you're good at, you get some self-esteem, and you're like, what the fuck is your problem, faggot? Or hoe, or whatever. But the faggot, it hits her harder. Even if you don't say it. You see it on their face. Or maybe you don't have to say it like that. You just open up and say something. And, you just look at their face, you look at you like, what are you talking for? Or who the fuck are you? It's like, if people want to have something over you, there's some people that just want to have something over. It's like, it's that level of arrogance. They think they're better than you, but they're just so sneaky. When you just tell them, you see it on their face that they're hurt. And it's not like you say even faggot to them. I don't know if I said that freshman year in high school, but you think about that shit, And it's like, well, you're not, you're really nothing that tough and strong. That's why. You know, you just portray this image, you know, and like I could see right through you. A couple words, without the word faggot, I could just, you know, make it turn red and just, you know, go like this. Like, I already know you're hurting, you feel insecure, and your so-called macho bravado just went down. And that's just one of the persons, you know. The class clown, you know, the notable class clown, you know, he just like, you know, falls asleep in class. You know, it's like, well, what the hell are you doing, you know, in the night? What are you doing before class? You know? And it's just ridiculous, you know? It's like, how can you take that guy seriously? You know, the guy in the back. And you really don't. You don't. You know, you give him a little space, you converse with him, you talk with him, you know? But you really, like, he's a nuisance, you know? You have a mentality suppressed, and you're like, years go by, and like wants to hang out with you. You're like, all right, yeah, it's like fucking Jimmy from like, you know, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. That's fucking cool. Yeah, I got a fucking car. Let's go somewhere. Fuck you, drink beer. You know, I mean, imagine being like a parochial Catholic school. Like, you find one person that actually likes to drink beer, where the other people are just like, you know, creeped out by it. You know, because senior high school, it's like, you know, like, aren't you supposed to, like, drink beer? Nothing about fake IDs, because the fucking clown said he had a fake ID. He said he got ripped off for a fake ID in Manhattan. So you kind of like, yeah, I don't think I want a fake ID. Like, I know a place where, you know, or I think I know a place where I could get, you know, not a lot of liquor, just beer. Like, you know, don't get drunk and do something stupid and just don't say anything about it, you know? And then, you know, after a while, you like, kind of like, you want to just hang out by the liquor store and ask somebody to get it for us. You feel like you're like 8th grade, not even freshman year. You're like, kind of, fuck, bro. Like, I'm 19, man. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. I feel embarrassed. You know, it's kind of creepy. But that same fucking kid tells you when he was like in 6th grade, he would walk around on the street, he would find cigarette butts, and he would put them together with his friends and smoke a cigarette. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's like, you know, I kind of was like, oh, shit, maybe I'll try a cigarette. And in 6th grade, you pick up, you know, a nicotine addiction, you know, a habit. And then, you know, you quit it, something happens to bring you to, you know, the principal's office for like smoking like Marlboro Lights or like fucking, I don't know, cheap cigarettes, and just throwing buds, you know? And you go through like a withdrawal of nicotine, but, you know, it's fucking, you know, it feels like the flu. You know, and it feels weird. It feels really weird, you know? But it's not even about that. It's about, you know, I'm not going to be the one that tells, you know, certain people bring stuff in your life, like I said, peer pressure. You know, peer pressure exists for a reason. That's a certain thing. I think there's a lot of people that just, you know, they want people to mess with people a lot, whether it's cocaine, whether it's nicotine, whether it's anything else. You know, like they really want to put that in your life like a sneaky snake, just to, you know, just to mess you up or just see what you do. It's like, you know, to eventually, you know, like to own you with that. And then, you know, we figure out, you know, if I want, I could quit it. I got so many other things going on in life. I'd rather quit those people. You know, other people, you hang out with them, they just, you know, like they want to, you know, bring this in your car. Like, listen, man, I don't like this. Like, first of all, your idiot friend put a hole in the back of my seat. The second thing is, like, you know, I mean, you're a goofy jerk off, bro. You know anything? You're like, you know, you're arrogant, you're stupid, and you're like, you know, you're kissing people's ass. Like, you guys are like little children, man. You know, is that really high school? Or is that really real life? Because I don't think high school ever ends. If you want to use that, you know, analogy there, right there. You know, it really doesn't end. No matter for whatever, you know. It doesn't even end. Because, like, people don't grow out of that, you know. You make mistakes, maybe you act a certain way, but there's a lot of people that just don't grow out of that. You know, it's like, that's like your high school career or something. And it's fucking, you know, teachers tell you, these will be the best days of your life. Like, geez, you kind of like, really? And even though you're feeling good, like, really? This is the best days of my life? Why? So everybody says that. You know, I think I already talked about it in a couple of videos prior. It's like, that's your life. You know, that's your life. Maybe you had freedom, this and that. Maybe you have to go to work. I think I talked about that conformity video. I don't believe so much in conformity, like settling down, this and that, just, and, going through this drama. I already experienced that in high school. Those fake people everywhere. I don't want that in real life. I don't have a problem with going to work. I have a problem with people at work. People everywhere. But, yeah, just like, even at your job, people try to suppress you just for being right, just for making something work. Not that, you're going to get a raise over somebody, you're going to get somebody fired. It's just that they hate the fact that you know things. At least in my perspective. It's like, geez, like, well, why don't you just, I don't know, could just don't talk to me, just, fire me, leave me alone. You'll have an easier time. You'll have less hatred on your mind. And, yeah, about that class clown, like, later he just goes to Marines and shit, and some people tell he didn't even go. I'm like, it's not that he didn't go, it's like, what was he saying before he went to boot camp? I didn't tell anybody, I don't think, but it was just like, all he wanted to do was just, get the GI Bill and go to college. And it's like, I'm not saying I was, in the Marines, I'd be like, listen, kid, that's just great. I mean, do we really need people? I guess we need people, but it's like, listen, man, like it's got to be more than just you going to fucking college. There's a community college down the fucking block, man. You can just fucking go apply over there. I don't care about your payments. This is serious business, and it shouldn't be business, but it is in the United States. Military is kind of business, right? And that same class clown, that, like, maybe had an overdose, maybe he was a really big weed head, like he was just like always like just like either drunk or weeded out in school even, like he freaking, he goes to his little boot camp, and then he comes back, oh, it was boring, this and that. When like someone like me, a time traveler, told him, you're gonna say it's boring, but you know what? Good thing for you, man. Maybe you'll do something with engineering, something like that. Because he was too nice. But it's not so much a boot camp. I mean, I saw videos. It's like, all right, it's relaxed, but it's like, yeah, you gotta do physical work. You gotta know things. That's what that is about. It's not a joke. You go there, hang out, and the same clown tells you, well, I want to go because I want to be, have discipline. I was like, well, you didn't have discipline before? I came in your room. Your room is always clean. Oh, what do you mean you want discipline? Join a dojo. I don't know. You discipline yourself. It's like, and I get it. That's one of the reasons why you go to the military. Yeah, I see people that after military, yeah, they just, they're disciplined. They just like, but they're sent down is just like, it doesn't really matter when, like, there's no substance about majority of the ones that I met. Not everyone, but are you gonna get disciplined because you're gonna get a haircut, you gotta take care of yourself? Is that what you want? And I got nothing on it, but it's like, you're a recruiter. I'm like, this isn't for me, man. Like, you look weird, bro. Not look weird, but it's like I feel uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm make some silly jokes and shit, but it's like, it just like, it's like, what is that? I want to go to college. That's what I wanted to do. Psychology or something like that. Maybe a counselor, And then you realize, like, majority of people are just fucking clowns and idiots to begin with. It's like, I'm like, when I help somebody, it's like, who knows what the fuck they're gonna do? Who knows if fucking, they like pretending I'm somewhere else. They're gonna say I raped them, I molested their kid, or fucking, I don't know, I don't know. Who knows? Or they call fucking radical police department on me or some shit. Right after they try to assault me. So it's like, it didn't fucking matter after a while. It's not about the money either. Never was. I'm not like you people. Not like the fucking clown, rest of you fucking clown motherfuckers. But we all have our lives to live, right? Presumably everyone's living well. Corona and all that shit, right? With the line. It's the fact of the matter is, just Facebook messaged somebody that was in, the 6th or 7th and 8th grade and then that elementary school with me. And it's like him and the class clown used to hang out. This kid, like, we just talk bad about, the other kid, the class clown, It's like, well, why you fucking play with Legos? It's like you don't like Legos. I mean, I haven't really liked Legos. I get it, you put stuff together, but it's like, it's just that two-faced fakeness. It's like, I kind of, it's just like a turn-off. I kind of lost respect for that class clown. And if you really enjoy something, I mean, even like this, you honestly think, I'm gonna do this for like, just to get reward claps. Now I'm recording. It's like you probably can't even steal that anymore. Even if I don't even write anymore. This is my journal. Let's say I record something, it's gonna be like with lyrics. Can't steal that, can you? You already do. How about this? Steal this in your fucking ass. I know a lot of you are homosexual as fuck. Even though you're married, you got 3-4 kids. That's no excuse. A gay guy can breed. So can a degenerate with an inverted penis? I mean, you could go to a lab or some shit or just jerk off. But yeah, the class clown, like I don't think I ever used that. It was a certain teacher that just said stop being a class clown to that fucking class clown, or trying to be, And a lot of his jokes weren't that even funny, But it's like you're young and you're in a class and like one kid actually says something out loud, like he just wants to say, and everybody starts laughing. It's like breaks the tension and all of that. Because as far as comedy goes, he's fucking like the least funny of the people. He just likes to open his mouth and then say things. You could read his face, you could figure out his face if he's lying or not. So yeah, he was my favorite. Are you clowns and idiots? But you give someone respect even though they don't deserve it, and it's like, who knows what could happen, Maybe you shouldn't even just ignore them, avoid them. Even though years later you come out of freaking psych ward and you're assaulted by police department, right? With some idiots that call the cops because you were assaulted, and now the cops turn on you because you're being loud, and they just, you're like a human being. They're not. I don't know what's in their mind, but pretty nothing. And then this fucking class clown just, tries to convert you to Catholicism. And he's talking about he's the biggest idiot because he was an atheist. It's like, I don't care about your belief system or your faith or your fucking, religion. I'm not into that. I'm not into your creepiness, man. I don't even care what you think about Donald Trump. The only reason I asked you is like, and even if you think Corona, I don't even care. I just want to hear your opinion. Maybe have a conversation. But the moment you tell me you should do, like, go fuck yourself. Seriously, you should really try that, Jimmy. And then, the class clown just fucking, I think he blocks you or something like that. Actually, no, he didn't block me, but it's like his mailbox is full. His voice was like, why do people do that shit? Is that on purpose? Like, it's like right when I'm about to drunk, like, nah, I know he's not gonna pay me, but I say everything in a voicemail. I'm gonna leave him like 3-4 voicemail. I did it to my ex-girlfriend. She fucking like, you were drunk, but you shouldn't have said, it's like, I'm waiting, like, the mailbox you called is for. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you and T, Verizon, fuck all of you. So you just try to text the fucking guy. It's like, it's not the same anymore. The other idiot, you try to text, like he switched his numbers, he blocked you or some shit. His house is sold. It's like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah, it's, when people will try to suppress you, even if you say a subtle joke about that, about anything, or maybe they just try to ridicule and just, every single time you meet them, just try to put you down. But when things are different, they turn a face like this and just cover it away. I mean, the thing about living in fear, it is a form of suppression. I think it's a spiritual entrapment, mental entrapment, And there's people say, oh, I don't like to live in fear, but they're like, the biggest, geeks around, and who knows what they're gonna do behind your back, because that's what they are. That's what you are, just a coward. Just repeats words and puts that perpetuates that out there, that you're a strong guy and you're better than somebody. In reality, just a scared little child. But mentally a child. Pretty disturbing to be, when you're in your 40s.